you on more details on LifeSG application, how to use it. So let me share my screen and just confirm whether you are able to see the presentation. Yep. Let me just adjust the windows. Perfect. So I think we can start. So good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm going to share about Moments of Life application, which is now called as LifeSG. So in 2018, we launched and offered the services targeted at the young parents. So we, in the sense, this application owners, right, in the Singapore government, offered this to the targeted parents. This was triggered by what we call as a key moment of what we call the key moment of childbirth. This actually application has enabled registration of 7 in 10 newborns in Singapore, a reduced time spent on birth registration, baby bonuses, and so on and so forth. There are almost 150K plus downloads since then, and many more. In the second half of 2019, we started to serve the active aging segment when the people reached the later moments of their life stages. We basically offer a Madaka generation card, displayed multi-government schemes and benefits, as well as offered up events nearby for the seniors to partake. Now, we want to expand beyond the select moments to become an ongoing integral part of the citizen's life. There are multiple, I would say, smaller moments throughout the year. Citizens need to pay taxes. Citizens are considering buying and selling HDBs. And that's where actually this application is going beyond serving the users for a specific part of the life, but pretty much serving the user across the range of the needs. And multiple applications or multiple services combined into a single application where it is extremely easy for you to access that. Okay, sorry. Next slide. So I think the vision is, my laptop is a bit slow. We basically aspire to offer simplified experience across government services to the citizens, so the citizens can save the time and focus on the things that matter. And let me just start with a LifeSG story with a simple, I would say, 1-minute video. Let me just click it, and I will just like to show you this video so that you get an overview of what is this application. Can I just confirm, are you able to see the video?
Yes, I'm able to see the video, but I don't think there's any sound coming out from it. I think it's your screen sharing. You need to check the share computer audio box.
Great. I'm sorry. I think.
Vishal, how about I try it on my end? I can try sharing the video on my end. Then get the video.
Sorry?
Can I try sharing the video on my end? Because I'm not hearing any.
Yeah, I think it will be better because I think, is it able, are you able to see that again? Maybe I can play it. Maybe it was this confusion.
How about I try it on my side?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll do it right.
Yeah. I'll stop sharing for a while.
Before you tune out, tell you what. Government services. Before you tune out, tell you what. Give us your attention and we'll give you a solution. LifeSG. A simpler way to access the government digital services you use most in one smart app. It simplifies your experience, letting you lead better lives wherever you are in life. What precious little time you have, spend it on your precious little one. Or why not yourself? Learn new lessons and expand your horizons. Discover new skills or even get support for your job search. Welcome your little one to the wonderful world of books. Or make new friends while indulging in old passions. And we'll continue to move forward together, shaping and co-creating our services so we can keep making your lives better today and in the future. This is LifeSG. Simpler services, better lives.
Thanks, Ernest. If you allow me to share my slides. So, screen one. Yep. So simpler services, better life. That's the goal of LifeSG app. So what I'm going to concentrate now, and I will go slow. So we will basically divide this into three parts of the remaining time. One is, let's all get started on in terms of understanding how to download this application. So the way I will do it is I will run through a bit of the slides first, just to give an idea. It might be a little boring, but just bear with me on that. Then we'll also show how to log in and how to use the app. So once we have gone through the slides, what I have done is I have connected my mobile to this presentation, and I will show you live in terms of how I go ahead and download those apps and how I use it. So I'd encourage you either to, while I'm going through the slides, follow the steps, or you can wait for me to go through the demo itself a later point of time once I'm finished with the slides. Hope that's okay. So let's run through it. So what we need to do for downloading the app. There are multiple ways. First step I would say is using this QR code. If you are you have your mobile in front of you, you can open your camera and then you can scan this QR code. And what this QR code will do is it will basically either directly jump you into a browser and show you where to that application, or you need to just click a link that will come and then it will bring you to the right area where you can download this application. So of course, you need to make sure that your mobile is connected to 4G network or a Wi-Fi. And then once you have it, you should be able to land into a place where you can start downloading the app. Next step would be, or the other option could be, you can, if you don't want to go by the QR code, you can simply go to Android Play Store, or you can go to Apple App Store and search for the application LifeSG. And what this application, how do you identify this is the right application? Once you basically download the LifeSG apps, you basically, to confirm that this is the right app, you need to look at this logo, LifeSG, which you have seen it here. That kind of gives you a confirmation that this is the right application. And you can also check that this application is actually developed by the GovTech. So those two things will basically affirm and confirm that this is the right application. So once you have it, then I think click on download. So on the Android application, you have to click on install, and then it will initiate you to that install thing. Or if you are using Apple phone or Apple, you're using Apple Store, then you can use this option of cloud/download, and you can start downloading the app. So far what we covered was pretty much in terms of where to get this app and how to download it, right? So I believe that if you have your phones ready and if you want to try this out, you can just, if you're an Android user, you can either try the Android Play Store, or if you're an iPhone user, you can look into this App Store and you can download the application. So the third thing is, once you have downloaded the application, you can basically, this kind of icon will appear on your mobile. And once you click, then it will bring you to the home screen of the application, and then you can begin exploring the application itself. So I would like I would like to continue. I think I will show you all this. By the way, my phone is an Android phone. I don't have an iPhone. So I will demonstrate you on how I will do the same thing on an Android phone. So if you have any difficulties, please have post your questions in the Q&A chat as well. And then we would be able to help you on that. So let's say we now have downloaded the application and we have installed the application. Now let's look at what's the next step. So if you have come to this level, this stage, and you have opened up your application, what it will prompt you is a welcome basically screen where it welcomes you to LifeSG application. You'll see this means that you see the screens. It means that the application is successfully loaded. It's installed. And now you can actually start exploring the application. So let's see in terms of the next step, once you have downloaded, what you need to do in terms of logging in, right? So if you open that application, these are the steps that you need to follow to log in. Step one, you can go through onboarding screens and click on let's get started. So once you actually open the screen, you'll see there's a lot of information in terms of it prompts you what is the latest, what you need to, what are the different new features in the application, for example, get notified, manage, access, and so on and so forth. So you can click on all this, for example, click on this, let's get started, and then it will prompt you to the step number 2. Please let me know if I'm going too fast, participants. I mean, I know sometimes it could be a bit faster. So I just want to make sure that you're following this. But even if you are getting confused or it is too much to imbibe, it's fine, because I'm going to show you this on my mobile screen itself sometime in after, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. So this is a step of login. So how do you log in? You would need a SingPass ID and a password, which I believe all of you have. What you need to do is on the SingPass side, there are 2 options. Either you can use if you are using a SingPass mobile application, then there's a QR scanner. This code kind of comes in, and if you tap onto this, it will bring you to that SingPass mobile application. And if you don't have SingPass mobile application installed, then you can use SingPass password and login, where you can key in your SingPass ID and the password manually, and you can log in as well. So both options are available depending upon how you would like to do it. So there's a question. I had downloaded it on my phone. Can I download it for another phone? You can download to another phone if you have 2 applications. I haven't tested myself whether the same login would be is allowed on both the different phones, but I think we can take a look at it. So Jasmine Low has asked that question, and let me come back to it. So Jasmine, you mean to say that the application is downloaded both the mobiles are for the same user, and you just want to download the same application for one person with 2 mobiles? Is that the understanding? Okay. So Ernest, how do you handle the Q&A? You want to take it at the end, or
yes,
you'd be able to?
The Q&A
okay,
question.
Fine, perfect. Okay, I'll then come back to it once I show you. Okay, let's go to the next step. Now, let's say what if you, for example, you forgot your SingPass, or somehow you're not able to, remember those things. So there's an option here to reset your SingPass. I would say here, where you see this forgot SingPass ID or password. So if you can click on this, it will prompt you to fill in certain information, which will probably take another 3 minutes to complete. And once you do that, you should be able to, access that information again. Okay. So there is a clear instruction in terms of how to reset your SyncPass ID and password, and that will prompt you in terms of resetting them. But now, assuming that your SyncPass, you have the SyncPass, everything is in place, and you're able to log in, then you will be prompted to a successful screen here, which is basically LifeSG, I would say the front screen. And if you log into the SyncPass, your particulars would have been pre-filled for your convenience, because we are using SyncPass information, and then it is tied up into this. Next, you can actually select your preferred language here. So either you can, whichever language you're comfortable, English or Mandarin or Malayu or Tamil. And of course, you can change this language later as well through the profile setting if you would like to. So that is also possible. So let's say you kind of choose, for example, English in this case, and we can move to the next step. Now let's see, once you have now logged into the application, what you need to do is, obviously you can explore the different facets of the application, how this application kind of helps you. If you are if you're an MG, you can see basically Madhaka generation. What you will be, your front screen is you will see your MG card right on the way to right get to go. So you'll be able to see that your card information already popped in here. And let's see in terms of what other things that we can explore in this application, right? So let's get to the next step. So this is the third step of using the application. So let's explore the application. So what can we do with this application? So experiencing LifeSG, right? So first thing probably you have to notice and you have to see is on the right-hand menu, there are three horizontal lines. And if you click that, that is the menu button, which kind of prompts you to this screens, and you see a home, notification, events, government schemes, services, and this two sections, basically the explore section and the enjoy section. At any point of time when you're exploring this application, if you get lost, you can tap to this screen on this top hand. As I said, this will be somewhere here on this top screen. I'll show you later. Once you click there, you can always come back here, and you can always change your menus or go to the different features from this portion. I think when I used this application first time, I was also a bit overwhelmed for the fact because there are many services, 40 plus services, which kind of embedded into this application. So it is natural if you think, natural if you are confused a bit, but I think I will guide you in terms of certain, I would say three important applications in terms of how you can go and see those things and how you can explore that. So let's say first is, I think the foremost important for the senior citizens is accessing your MG e-card. And as I mentioned, once you log in into this application, you'll be able to see that card. So basically, this means that you really don't have to carry your cards for your discounts, getting the discounts, for example, for the CHAS clinics or for selected merchant outlet. You can actually show this MG card on your LifeSG application. So if you want to know more benefits about where you can find what are the benefits of MGP, you can click this link, and let me see if it can prompt me to my internet page. And because I have two screens, so let me bring this screen here. And I can see that, which is good. So this is the website, which is madakageneration.sg. And there are many benefits that you can look into it. Benefits from 1 to 5, passion card, passion silver card top-ups, then MediSave top-ups, outpatient care subsidiaries, Care Shield life participation incentives, then additional medical life premium subsidies, and so on and so forth. So this website basically kind of gives you a lot more depth and details about additional things you can explore with Mataka generation, I would say, benefits. So coming back to our slides, next is let's look at different government scheme, right? So, for example, a lot of citizens do have a question that where to check all these government schemes and then whether am I eligible for it. So you can scroll down to see the government scheme you might be eligible for, and then what we are saying is on the front same screen. If you scroll that down, you would be able to see this information in terms of different government schemes and what you are eligible for. And there's also option of accessing this from a menu section, which again I'll show you in a while. Senior discounts. Another question which generally comes is how can I search for senior discounts? And you can same thing. It will be part of the same screen. If you what I talked about is earlier the MGE card, then different government scheme, different discounts for senior. It's basically on the same page that you can find, and you can basically scroll down and you can explore these things. That's what you will be able to see. Then there is another angle to another features, for example, is the My Government Benefits, right? So you can basically click on the menu button and scroll down to learn more about government benefits you receive. And then you can talk about this, you can click on government benefits on this section. And this will bring you to various government benefits that you can basically avail. So the example of that benefits, if you click on that, it basically giving a sample here in a screenshot. For example, the MG package, CHAS, then Silver Support Scheme, and so on and so forth. So you should be able to get all that answers, or I would say the quick glance at all these details in a very short time and a manner through this LifeSG application. Another very interesting thing, I think, is the as a part of active aging, which is, I think, very important for senior citizens as well. And this is the feature we call in the application is called as Event Finder. So again, this Event Finder, what it does is once you basically click on it, it kind of gives you that idea of what are the different events happening nearby you. And there are various filters in terms of how to you get notified about it, or what are the different activities happening. As because the COVID-19 is still active, I would say. What is happening is that there are a lot of online sessions that are being arranged for senior citizens as well, and those events you can see those in this Event Finder feature of the application. If you are a first-time user, what we would encourage you to turn on your location sharing within your profile and setting, and I will show you that later. And this will allow you basically to see the activities near your current location, and you have a filters to choose. I mean, you can choose as good as like I want to have the activities within 500 meters, so I want to have activities within the 2 kilometers of my location. You can do that, and for the repeat users, activities near your locations will automatically show up. How do I find the events near? Actually, I talked about it. As I said, by default, you will see the events within 2 kilometers of your location, but you can always change, as I mentioned, as you can see here. You can, by default, it's 2 kilometers, but you can always choose this, vary this, and you can have different options, different filter here that you can choose. This will basically narrow your search and give you a more pointed results, so that you will get a very crisp information, and then you can take your decisions in terms of which events you would like to participate. So again, on the event side, beside those events in terms of when they are, there are many filters which are available. You can simply check or uncheck this filter. So these are the filters we talk about. Either you can click on them or remove them. So these filters are basically gives you a different preferences, and based on those preferences, it will give you to shortlist the events. And I think that is a very useful useful feature as well. So now I think there are additional things about advanced users, but I would say that let's not make this a boring session with just too many slides. So what I would like to do is I would like to share my mobile screen. And as I mentioned, I'm a Android user. So I'm going to cast my screen now, and you can see my screen. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at LifeSG application. So what I did is first step by step. So I have this Android Play Store, which how do I show it here? Here I don't have mouse. Okay, I can show the mouse. But anyway, there's a Play Store button that you can see here. So you can go to Play Store and you can search for LifeSG, and you type in LifeSG and you basically click here, and what it will give you is this screen where you have to verify two things. First is the logo, which is LifeSG logo, which we talked about earlier, and second thing is that is basically developed by GovTech. So it looks genuine. So I'm going to just click on this green button of install, and what it does is it is now waiting for download. There could be possibility that your phone may be allowed to download only on Wi-Fi or not on the cellular network. So based on that, just make sure that there's an internet connection. Once you have that internet connection, this application will be downloaded and installed. And you can see there is there's no mouse here to show you, but there is this install icon that comes up, which kind of says that the application is now installed. So now you see the green button on the right-hand side, which says open. So I'm going to click on that open. And this is the first screen. As I said, you'll be seeing welcome LifeSG. That's first it will happen. And then this is the screen which I was talking about. It gives you the idea of all the different things, right? It gives you in a snapshot what this application is going to help you on. For example, access. It gives you basically e-services at fingertips, manage your government application deadlines or appointments, then get notified about new government schemes, benefits, events, or for example, get most of it. How do you basically able to personalize it? So it gives you all that features and glimpse of that features of the application. So let's click on the let's get started. The blue button below. So if you can click here, then what it will do is it will bring me to a SyncPass page. So now in my mobile, I have SyncPass installed. And if you don't have a SyncPass installed, what you can do is you can click here and you can click password login. And then this password login is basically will enable you to log in using your SyncPass ID and the password. So that's one way of doing things. But if you have a SyncPass installed, then you can just click here, come to SyncPass Mobile, and you can click on this SyncPass or this barcode. And basically tapping it, it brings me to a SyncPass. So I'm going to allow it to access, and I have my biometric basically identifier enabled on my mobile. And I basically basically what I'm doing here is I'm allowing my SyncPass to basically get connected with this application. And now I'm logged into this application. So now you can see this is a welcome screen I see. And it basically what it has done is all my SyncPass information based on my profile, it has given me this screen. Again, what I meant, let's now look at into a few sections, how this application look like. So first, it basically mentions my name, Vishal, for example, here, which is my first name. And it also gives me some notification, for example, birth registration related thing. It is giving me that ICA will temporarily unavailable within your app. That's fine. So if you don't need those notifications, I can just cancel it. So the first screen here is recommended for you. So now, because I have two kids, so I think there's a lot of customized information coming up as well. So toolkit, first thing is actually toolkit and activity for booklet for seniors. Then of course, COVID-19, what is happening on the different, I would say, benefits and measures. So this screen, the recommended for you, kind of gives you the latest information. of what are recommended for you. Now, the second part of this application is explore services. And I was mentioning, I see a lot of baby bonuses and all that related stuff because I have two small kids probably. But if you can see, there's a button here beside explore services. If you click here, see all, then actually it shows you those services. So you see there's active aging, CPF, citizenship and identity, and so on and so forth. I think of this, I think let's look and explore those, I would say, three activities: active aging, CPF, and probably healthcare. Because I'm not a senior citizen, oh sorry, of course what happens is I don't see the MG related information, so I can't show you how you would be able to see the Merdeka generation related information that we talked about in the slide, but it would, I think, automatically populate for you. So your login screen, once you log in, your front screen may be different than mine. So these are basically, these are some explore services we talked about. Then the third part is about the upcoming events. So it is giving me the details about different events happening. For example, Goodreads, then NLB programs for seniors, some NSA nuggets, and so on and so forth. So in general, there are three sections, as I said: recommended for you, exploring the services, and then upcoming events. Now let's look at the main part of it, which is the menu, right? So as I said, these three bars on the top hand right corner, just below those battery and all the symbols you see here. So if I click here, what it will show me is this menu. And you see, I have these two options. I would say two sections I see. One is obviously this home, application status and notification. This is related to application. And then about exploring, right? And people would see different, I would say, menus here. You would be able to see government scheme related. I think earlier when I mentioned, I think what I was, let me just look at the slide. So probably you'll see government benefits under the explore section. You will have an enjoy section as well, where there will be government benefits and discount for seniors. While I don't see that section, I only see the explore section. So let's look at how do you edit your profile and setting, right? So on the my name, basically there's a small little writing about it, says edit profile and setting. Once I click that, it basically gets into my profile and kind of gets my name and everything else here. But you can choose the interest. So this is where you can choose different interests. So I have clicked all of it. I have interest in technology, then obviously housing, health, finance, family and community, and so on and so forth. So you can click whatever is basically interesting for you. And once you click that, accordingly, what happens is your menu basically, this explore menu would change. Let's again look into it. One more thing I want to show you was settings. So under the settings, I think I would strongly recommend you to click on the settings and get into the location sharing. Now, you can choose either option. You can allow all the time. So what this does is a LifeSG kind of application, this application accesses the device location. You can allow it to do all the time, or you can allow the application to do it only while running the application. So I generally do it allow when using the application, but both are good. So in fact, you can choose either of them. So I have choose this time allow all the time. You can actually also do a notification, but I think let's basically it's a bit, I would say, complicated. It can in terms of, let's probably skip that right now. Push notification. So let's come back to our menu. So under the home menu again, let's look into services. So as I mentioned, on the services part, you can see various services here, and you can basically see that it basically gives you a quick access to government services and information you need. So for example, if I click on active aging, right, which is a very important part for and very applicable to you all. So here you see that you can apply for your enhancement for your active seniors EASC, or you can actually also book a virtual digital clinic session for the seniors. So if I click here, then basically what it does is it links me into a government service, EASC, where you can put that direct application and you can accept the terms, and you can just, with single click, I would say with single sign on, it kind of helps you to get to access that service. So I'm going to skip that because I'm not going to apply for it. Let me see one more thing. And let's say for this one is actually the virtual digital clinics. And here you can actually choose what kind of clinic you want to do, in which language you prefer, which date, you can add your details, and you can submit that. You can book that service. So again, all done through a single click here. It's all integrated. Let's look into CPF as well. I think CPF is also an important part of our lives. So in the CPF and retirement part, you can actually look into, for example, CPF balances. If I click here, oops, okay, sorry. Okay, I was just checking. It is not going to show my balance. So it doesn't, which is good because it taps you into SyncPass. So now if I click into SyncPass, then you'll be able to see my CPF balance, but I will not do that right now. So I would say done. I'll come back. So you can do CPF balances, you can look into your contribution history, or you can look into CPF statements and so on and so forth. Or you want to make a CPF top up, or make a CPF nomination. All these services are available on your fingertips through this application. There are many other applications. So I think let's look into healthcare. So I think this is again a very important part. I think how to apply for a CHAS card. You can come into this healthcare section and you can just click here on CHAS, and it basically brings you now to MOH website where it kind of gives you exact login of where to apply, right? So you don't have to go and Google or search anything. It's all within this application. Similar to that, I think for my child's medical appointment, that is pretty much applicable to the people who have, or the parents who have kids and all that. So these are, you can check your CHAS balance as well. So that's also available here. So these are, for example, the healthcare related services. Now, one more thing I wanted to show you was it in the events? Let's just see. Yeah. So under the events, and as part of the active aging, what did I do? Actually, anytime, for example, you get lost into this application and you forgot, because sometimes what happens is if I click now back button, it kind of goes into completely, it exits the application. So what happens is then in that case, you can go to the application, open it, and again, click on these three bars and go to home page. And that brings you to the home page. So anytime you're confused of where I am, then you can just go to the menu and then the home button, and it brings you to the main menu. So let's look into the events, which is part of active aging. So here, if you see, it gives me the result for 49 results and for all regions. And this basically gives me what are the different things happening. For example, inspirational reads, sitting balance exercise, so on and so forth. Interesting thing is there is a filter on the right-hand side, which is called edit filter in the blue, I would say, color that you can see. If you can click on that, now it will allow you to select or say different filters. So if you want, basically, for example, if you want to go for a free events, you can click on the free. If you want something that is today, and if you want something which is, let's say, within 0.5 kilometer, and let's say because I live on the west side, I want to have it on the west side. Event, let's say, and now you can choose different options here. Do you want to use it for, the event has to be for senior citizens, or you have this more age groups, for example, here, seniors, if I click senior, and then what kind of activity you want to do. For example, you want to attend the event which is about fitness. You can click that. Maybe I'll keep my options open so that it will show more things. I'll do any day, and then I'll apply. And what it does is then instead of initially there were 49 results, now I see very, very confined results, only 5 results, which are very much to my liking. and they are near to my place as well. So these these are the events what I can look into. And then if I can open into these events, so there will be information in terms of contacting the person, or how to find out more about it. You can click here to find out more, and then it kind of gives you, okay, it opened up a YouTube video. It kind of gives you idea of what exactly that event is. So you get the idea in terms of how you can basically explore and enjoy different types of services, be it on the government side of application, or for that matter, uh, this activity or the event finder application, event finder related activities. Beside that, obviously there are also very interesting things about government scheme, and if you are looking at different government schemes and what are those, and you want to have a quick read about them, this is all explored. This is all available here as well. I have also subscribed for the articles. So articles basically gives me, because I have mentioned I'm interested in finance and all that, it gives me related to finance related applications as well, or finance related articles as well. So that's pretty much it. I think the help and support, I would say, if you have any trouble with this application, you can always check your frequently asked questions, so that you would basically get your answers. If not, there's always an option of contacting, right? In terms of how you are experiencing a technical issue, or you have any general inquiry, and then that would be able to address it. So with that, what I would say is, this is one application where all the government services, as well as different activities beyond just government services, are all collated at one place. It's a single, I would say, place for senior citizens, or any citizen for that matter, to log in and explore the different services. And it's absolutely easy once you have a sync pass to jump into different services and explore them, apply for them. If you have any questions or any clarity you need, you can find that information extremely in an easier fashion from this application. So with that, I would probably say that I have covered pretty much what I wanted to share. What I would encourage you all is to download the application and use it extensively, because it just makes your life simpler. And that's the whole message. So with that, Ernest, I'm done from my side, and we can look into the question and answer.
Thank you, Vishal, for the very informative sharing. So right now, we will go into the Q&A.
Okay, there's.
Yep. So just to repeat, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them to the Q&A section by using the button below. Or if you prefer to ask them verbally, you can also use the raise hand button. Then we will proceed to unmute your mic for you to ask the question verbally.
So I think, Ernest,
Yes.
I'm not sure whether I'm the perfect person to answer this question that Christine Go has asked. Christine Go. So she has asked that there are several applications, namely SyncPass Mobile, SG Secure, Health Buddy, Health Hub, MySkill Futures, ActiveSG. What is different with the LifeSG app? Can I install the apps, and can I uninstall all the apps and just use LifeSG good enough? If not, can incorporate all in one, and one don't have so many apps on the phone. So, I mean, at least from a personal experience, what I can say is SyncPass Mobile, SG Secure, they're different applications meant for different purposes. The SG Secure, this application, LifeSG, is, I would say, easier application. It's a one-stop shop to access 40 plus services. Not all the services are there, but I think there's a place to onboard, I believe. But Ernest, I would basically pass on that to you to explain what's the plan in terms of how this all different application kind of coexist in this.
Yes, right. Yes, Vishal, I think you have explained it very well just now. So just to reiterate that just different government apps are for different purposes, like you shared earlier. I've also have colleagues from the LifeSG team from GovTech as well, if they want to chime in or to add on also. So to Christine's question of whether you should uninstall all the apps and install LifeSG only, I think you should not do that. You should still keep the other apps for different purposes. Like for example, for Trace Together, the specific purpose of the app is for contact tracing, which you can't find on this LifeSG app. So and I think in terms of designing an application, it's also simpler to design to have a different team to look at different functions and purposes, and to focus on that. Whereas where possible, where we can combine services to make them more integrated, like for LifeSG, we can do that. But when it's not possible, I think it's best to keep these different digital services separate. So I think to also add on to as a suggestion for Christine, if you like to organize your home screen on your phone, you can basically create a folder called government services, and you can put all your apps into that single folder if it's cluttering up your home screen. Yeah, so that's one advice for Christine.
Perfect. There's one question from Tricia Lee is, can we check our email from government departments? I don't get the question.
I think to Tricia's question, I don't think that it's a function in the LifeSG app itself. Basically, when you write an email or compose an email and send it to a government department or point of contact, they will basically reply you back in the same email. Yeah, so you have to check your email app or mailbox to see the reply.
Yes, it won't be from here. Okay.
You need to log out when you're not using. It's a question from Betty. No, you can keep the app. You can continue to be logged into the app, and you do not have to log out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no issue about the security and privacy and the personal information being leaked out, because whenever you access sensitive information like a CPF balance, you need to log in through SingPass, and that session will expire after a while, and you'll be required to log in again to see your updated balance later on.
So, Ernest, you want to take that question? I understand SingPass Mobile also has LifeSG CPF login. There's both apps share the same purpose. I think I would say that CPF app kind of serves a bit different purpose. It will go into a lot more details of different types of services. What LifeSG does is it integrates very, I would say, frequently used CPF services. So, for example, you want to just click check your CPF balance, or you want to do the CPF nominee. Those kind of things. It gives you easy access to do those things. While the CPF application kind of goes deep dive into all the CPF related services. So if you want something very specific in the CPF related application, you want to basically avail some services. Basically CPF login would be, or the CPF application would suffice. That would be the best place to do. But if you want to just access the services, just check balances, instead of now opening into different application or logging into CPF, I think you can directly access that through the LifeSG. So I think that's a bit of a difference, because it's not just this LifeSG is not just doing one part of it like CPF, but as I mentioned, there are 40 plus different services. The idea here is to make the life simpler, so that all those services are available to you in a so-called single pane of glass, in the sense that it's one single place where you can have quick, high-touch access to all these different services and get the results instantaneously or immediately, saves your time, and that's the benefit. But if you want to deep dive into any of these services, you want to do anything deeper, I think then again, those applications, specific applications, would be still useful.
Exactly. I think Vijay have explained that very well. I think for the LifeSG, the main purpose is to consolidate these different services and the different access to these services in one single app. Whereas for someone who really knows what to do on a CPF portal and they know where to go to, they would rather go straight to the CPF portal to do the transaction.
Yeah. Good questions. Keep it coming. I think this is very interactive, very nice.
Separately, for those who don't have any question, you may proceed to complete the feedback form. You require to you to go to this QR code, scan the QR code, or go to the URL go.gov.sg/SNT feedback. And please choose seniors under the program and enter today's date, which is the 14th of October. And please key in LifeSG under the name of program. And after answering a few questions, you'll basically be done with the survey form.
Great. Hope this session was useful. I mean, we still have more time. I mean, I'll wait. If you have more questions, please feel free to ask.
And also to share with everyone briefly for next week's session, we'll be covering on My Legacy portal, which is a portal or resource where you can find and get information and services for end-of-life planning, palliative care, and for post-death matters. This is also a platform where you can access the My Legacy Vault, where you can plan and share your legal, healthcare, and estate matters with your loved ones. And during this session, we'll be giving everyone a step-by-step guide on how to install and use this portal as well. So that's for next week.
What's the difference, enhancement between LifeSG and the Moments of Life? Why the name change and rebranding? Ernest or
Yes.
GovTech, anyone? Can you take that?
Alexa or Sharon, do you have any input or like to share more about the background of the rebranding?
Ernest, okay, was it answered or?
To Alexa, to David's
I think
question, I think
Alexa
Alexa has already replied via the chat.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. Okay, perfect. So Betty Lee asked, I visited a GP near my home and they don't accept MGE card. They still want to see my physical card. Again, I'll have to defer this to Ernest, you or someone on this. How do we address it?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, more clinics are still trying to adopt this new system, and I think it's better to carry along your MG physical card in the meantime as well, before they are able to accept the e-card. So I think the idea is to allow some GPs time to also get on board as well. But as we move towards a digital system, I think it'll be more easier and more seamless in future.
Okay.
It's LifeSG only for government services. Yes, the services on LifeSG are mainly on government services. Yep. But
I would say
it also gives you content and events which are non-government related as well, but for like active aging, yeah. So in terms of accessing the personal information and portals like CPF portal, these are indeed government services, but they also enhance or to add on the experience by giving you suggested content and events nearby, which may benefit you as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just want to add that, for example, I've shown you the articles and all that. So if you have an interest in particular topic, then it kind of gives you that information as well. So yes, it is for the government services, but plus on a lot of add-ons, which kind of streamed or recommended based on your preferences. All right, I think no more questions. Thank you, everyone. I mean, to you, Ernest, to close.
Right. Thank you, Visha, for taking time off to conduct this sharing with us today. It's been very informative, and I've learned a lot from this LifeSG portal as well. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for this afternoon session. And if you're keen to find out more about other government services and apps, please refer to our Smart Nation website at smartnation.gov.sg, or you may may also scan the QR code on the screen as well to complete the feedback form. If you any suggestions or feedback to improve our session. All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Yep. And for Jasmine, if you'd like to refer to next week's session, you can scan this QR code here. Alternatively, it's also available on our Smart Nation website. You can head over there as well to see a full listing of upcoming programs that we have.